Enjoy.
Three things. 2 hands. No problem. I'm okay. Yeah. That's okay. I'll figure it out. I always somehow make it work. So great to be here with all of you. So the greatest privilege of my life so far has been to be a therapist. That's me. To witness people's inner worlds and to be trusted with the honor of holding space as people dig up their wounds and share them, sometimes for the first time in their lives. As they do the vulnerable and brave work, give themselves another shot at healing. Eventually, I saw enough transformations, and it occurred to me, wait a second, this shit actually works. And the fascinating part about it, the people that transformed didn't do so because of me. It's because they believed in themselves and were willing to show up and do the work. It was their own innate wisdom. I was just holding the container. Something else that I've learned since being a trauma therapist is the nature of pain and how it gets transmitted. How generational trauma gets passed down. I used to think that there were some people in this world that were just evil. Because how else could people commit such atrocities, such as violence, trauma, abuse? But what I realize is that nobody is inherently bad or evil. They are just the product of the projection of someone else's pain. They were once a child with unmet needs and no loving guidance. People in these positions cope in the ways that other people are coping around them. And this is how the cycle of trauma continues. Almost every time I'm working with a client that experienced trauma from a parent, eventually it comes out that their parent was treated the exact same way. So where does it start? It's a question I've asked myself so many times. Later to realize that it doesn't actually matter. What we're up against is the power of momentum. The momentum of trauma and pain and hate can create a ripple effect. These cycles don't break on their own until enough people say enough. Thankfully, momentum doesn't only work in one direction. It also works for love. Love is arguably an even more powerful force because it's what we were all created for. It's the absence of love that causes pain. So if every one of us ends our own cycle and instead projects love, think of the ripple effect that we will create for the future. In order to break a cycle, we have to understand our needs as a whole human being and care for them in their entirety. To put it simply, we are part mind, body, soul, consciousness, whatever you want to call it. And taking care of each of these parts of ourselves is integral to creating transformation. I'll give an example of what this looked like for me just a couple weeks ago. It was a Wednesday morning. I was in therapy. I verbalized for the first time, probably in my life, to my therapist that I felt like a turtle. I've squeezed myself into a tiny little shell my whole life, stayed quiet, under the radar. At one point in my life, it was all I wanted to just feel safe. That was enough. But the shell started to feel a little bit small, and I started to feel a little empty in there. My therapist prompted me by asking, so what animal do you want to be? And I hesitated. Meanwhile, when my dad asked me the same question when I was a little girl, I didn't hesitate at all. This girl knew exactly who she wanted to be. She said a tiger, because of course, that's how I felt. I didn't overthink it. I didn't even know how to overthink. Not yet. So I responded to my therapist, a tiger. That's who I want and need to be. Okay, it's probably a little bit more like this. No, don't get me wrong, I love turtles, but I got shit to do. Shit that a turtle can't do. So after that therapy session, I went on to a breathwork session. It was an eventful morning, to say the least. It was here that I somatically released all of that old turtle energy and really imagined that tiger in the room with me. I was able to channel and start to envision myself as that confident and fearless person. The next day, I got a chance to meditate. And this is where the real work came in. I looked across at my future self and I became the tiger. She was wearing a blazer with a tiger t-shirt. Needless to say, I understood the assignment. I looked into her eyes, blown away because she had already achieved everything that I had ever wanted to. I was in disbelief, and I simply asked her, "Really, everything?" She responded, "Everything." And I just burst into tears. All of this happened just within my own mind. So, as you can see, none of these components would have been as effective in isolation, but all of them together helped me to transform. Okay, it was 2 weeks ago, so we'll see what happens. but yeah, I also couldn't do it alone. These people that held space for me to heal, that create a container for me, including all of you here. And ultimately, it was my own inner wisdom that I accessed through meditation that was powerful enough to move me into action and make it real. And finally, the healing process is not always linear or on our timeline. I first walked through that door in 2019 feeling lost. And then I left again until 2022 when I showed up again, really struggling. And I dipped my toes into 3 Jewels things for a while, but I just wasn't ready to hear it yet. It wasn't until 2025 that I came here actually in support of a friend who was looking for their purpose. I took them to a goals meditation. And that's when I met Nicole, and that's why I'm here today. So when I look back, it's not actually a surprise. Now I see that I was actually planting seeds. And then when I was in service of someone else, I was able to find my answers. So in conclusion, I know that transformation and breaking cycles is possible, not just because I've seen it countless times, but because I've felt it. I'm unrecognizable to myself because of this work. I stopped the cycle of shame that's been circulating in my family for generations. My heart and mind is now a safe place to be, and it is such a relief. And it's possible for all of us. So I want to encourage all of you, heal because you deserve it. Break the cycle because this is so much bigger than just you and me. It's our only shot at creating a better world that's safe for all of us. I can't wait to see the ripple effect that we create.